What's up, beautiful people? Today we're going to be checking out From Unhappy Liberal to Hopeful Conservative, and this is by Amala Ekpunobi. Hopefully I called the name correctly, but let's get to it.
I'm a former leftist and now a conservative political commentator at Prager University.
I'm a former leftist myself. You can check the tattoo if you do not believe me.
My parents were together until I was about 6 years of age, and then my father left and I was left with my mother's influence. And if anybody knows my mother, she is the biggest leftist you've probably ever met in your entire life. She works for a leftist organization out in Orlando, Florida, and she does fundraising for them. When I was 17 years old, I graduated high school. I started working for the same organization that my mother works at.
I think the issues of gun control and gun violence need to be assessed from every angle.
Yo, this
I was going
recent.
around to different middle schools and high schools and finding kids that were leaning left, and I sort of gave them a shove in that direction and started teaching all different sorts of socialist ideology and feminism and critical race theory before I even knew it was critical race theory. I felt just generally unhappy in my life, and I didn't know why. And then every day I would go into work, and you would hear nothing but hate and hate and hate and hate, specifically from people who claim to be tolerant. A big part of what made me question it was going into work and hearing a lot of hate towards white people. And I'm half black, and I was raised by the white side of my family. So it was a hard thing to go into work every day and hear from all these different people of all different races, many of whom were white, that they hated white people and just crazy, blatantly racist things. So that was my initial call out, and I went to the VP and I said, I don't understand why you feel this way about white people. You have people at this organization who are white working with you. Should I feel that way about the family that's raised me? And he said, you don't understand how oppressed you really are. You should be angry, and I'm not here to make you feel better about your family. Something to that effect.
They really preach anger.
Let's rate some hate comments from the tolerant left. First up, we have the very classic, "You're a coon."
That was when I was like, oh, maybe I'm not on the right side of history on this one. And I found, you know, Larry Elder and Thomas Sowell, people.
That's my guy.
The Daily
I
Wire.
love him.
I found PragerU,
Michael knows.
and that was a light bulb moment for me. I did a full 180 spin. It was a big relief to realize that people were not out to get me. I grew up in a very conservative rural area. I was top of my class, valedictorian. I was surrounded by people who were white and conservative and never had any problems. But the ideology was so deep set in my mind that you couldn't have told me that there wasn't racism and patriarchy around me.
Right.
So to realize that the systems and institutions in this country are actually founded to make me successful, that was such a big relief. It was one thing to feel deceived and tricked by the left, but it was another thing to get the relief that sort of comes along with conservatism and being able to know that you are fully accountable for how successful that you are. And it had gotten so bad in my daily life, just hearing ridiculous ideology and false narratives that I no longer believed in, that I felt the need to say something. So I hopped online and started making videos. In the fall of last year, I'd gotten so angry about all the things that I was seeing in the news, specifically on social media, and I realized that so many young people were getting indoctrinated just by going on the internet and seeing what all these big tech overlords had put out. And I realized that I was doing the same thing when I worked for the left. I was going around to these young people. I was forcing them into the ideology that I didn't even have the backing to support. And now that I felt fully grounded in my beliefs as a conservative, I felt I needed to sort of
Do something
make
to
up for
fix
what I
that.
had done on the
Right.
left. And I started getting on TikTok because I realized that that app was the most atrocious piece of social media ever created. So if there could be one person on that was leaning right, I would go for it and do it.
That was brave. I think that's brave. How old is she? She's very young. When I watch her videos, I always think she's like older, but she looks very young.
It started on TikTok, and it was just a fun thing that I did in my free time. I made a few funny little conservative videos here and there, and then all of a sudden one just blew up and stormed the whole platform. Now I think I'm at over 500,000 followers on that platform. And as I started gaining traction, I guess a lot of people were reporting my videos and TikTok was taking notice of it, so I was banned. And I fought that very hard. We even went to the TikTok office to go and talk to somebody. They weren't there, but we tried.
She actually went there. I like that.
And eventually I got the account back, so we're back on TikTok and we're still making videos.
They said it's free speech, right? So yeah, it must be free.
Is how deeply brainwashed people are in our society. And I've met a ton of people where it doesn't matter how many facts you put in front of their face, how many real life examples you show them of people who have been successful and subscribe to conservative ideology and showing people that this country is really great and that this country wants to be great for you. And it doesn't matter how much you tell somebody that. Sometimes they are just so deeply, deeply tricked that nothing ever breaks that barrier. I would say I'm a short-term pessimist, long-term optimist. I think things are getting worse. I don't particularly think that we're winning on our side here, but every time that I get a comment that says, I never looked at it like that, or you said something that I didn't know about, or I had never heard that news story and you gave me a new perspective on that, then I'm saying, okay, we're winning the culture war a little bit and we're making a little bit of progress. You are nobody's victim. And the people who are going to sit you down and try to convince you that you are the true people that are against you. They are not fighting for your progress. They are not fighting for you to be successful. They are not fighting for you to go anywhere in life, but to fall into this pit of nothingness where you are angry at the world.
Victimized.
Be a thinker and truly look for truth rather than emotion.
Be a wandering generality. No, be a meaningful specific and not a wandering generality. Zig Ziglar. That's actually my best quote ever. It made so much sense. I don't know why he said it, but that makes sense.
That's what I would say. There we go.
So that was a video by Amala Ekpunobi. The name sounds Nigerian, but I don't know. I think she's definitely on the right path in life, especially as a young person. She has a calling, whether she likes it or not now. She's been called to be a leader of a whole generation, and she has a lot of responsibilities. And I like that she stepped up to it, because you don't have a choice anymore. When you get that calling, you have responsibilities automatically. And we have followership and what she's been doing on the media. I think she's doing a good job. Let me know your thoughts. If you want us to check out more of her videos or anything related to her, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Is the end of this one. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful day. Peace.